you and has got the nod ahead of you in terms of experience. But what are you expecting on Saturday night from Jay Taylor?
Just expecting a good fight. She's unbeaten, like you said. That's what I'm expecting, a good fight. Ask me a better question.
Tough gig up here. tough gig up here. Don't worry. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for that. If you could pinpoint one thing that you feel that you have improved on since you turned over from amateur to professionals, what would it be?
I'd probably say my punch output, like putting combinations together instead of bouncing up and down on my toes, throwing ones and twos. Like I think I am forming into a professional quite well, actually. A bit more experience under my belt, and I'll be away flying.
And what's 222 divided by 11 plus 4?
Fuck you.
Okay. Oh dear. Walked into that one. Apologies for the language. We are live. Apologies. Let's move on.
I've stated that I gave Lawrence a 7, and Lawrence gave himself a 4, which was happy for me to hear, just because he wants more. You know, we didn't have that much time together. A lot of things were new, and you know, just for him to go out there and do everything that we worked on, it just wasn't consistent enough, and that's the reason why I gave him a 7 and he gave himself a 4. But he's not looking at it the way I look at it. He's looking at it like he wants to get better. And to have that fight and to immediately come back into training, accept the fight with Chris here in his hometown, and you know, it just shows that he wants to get better. I remember after the fight in the locker room, Lawrence was like, man, I see. Like, I see. He understands, because there was moments in that fight where he should have and could have done things, but he didn't do it. And he understands, and for him wanting to get back in that gym right away, that means a lot, you know, from the way I look at it as a fighter, his personality and his drive to want to be better.
How does this fight go finally against Chris Billam-Smith from your perspective?
You know what? I've asked Lawrence about his sparring with Chris, and pretty much all he didn't give me much, but I was satisfied with what he gave me. He just gave me like a kind of a nod, a confident nod. And I was okay with that. So I know they sparred a lot together. I've been in the gym where guys have sparred numerous times and had to fight each other. It's only normal in boxing. Everybody's pretty much almost sparred everybody at some point in time, coming up through amateurs and professionals. And it all just counts on the night. It's up to those two fighters to figure out what they can do to each other and what the other one can and cannot do on that night. So this is just one of those times where it's on the big stage, which we're so happily appreciative of with these two guys here. Another thing I want to state is that I was here last year when Chris fought Chamberlain, and that was one of the most exciting fights I saw. I was sitting ringside. So the crowd here is electric. I turned into a fan after that fight, just sitting front row, and the fans here in Bournemouth.
I'll get you a T-shirt, Sugar, yeah?
What's that?
I'll get you a team T-shirt, yeah?
No problem. I'll take it. Listen, I watched you fight, and it was a great fight. The fans were going crazy.
Thank you.
I was sitting here and just being around a person that can have the fans on their side and just that kind of electricity, it always just makes my blood, my skin just tingle just because of that excitement, because you really don't get a lot of that in boxing. So for you to have this fight here, you fighting for the world championship, I know this place is going to go crazy. And I'm excited to be a part of it and to just, to watch you and your journey and watch the people to support you and everything.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I'll invite both main event fighters to have one final say. What would you say to Lawrence, your final message to him?
Thank you for the opportunity. You know, it's there's been a lot of bad things in boxing, but this is something that hasn't been spoken about in a good light enough. Is this fight? It's two old gym mates fighting for a world title, two Brits fighting for a world title on a massive stage, on a massive platform. And I think that in a nutshell is what boxing should be about. Two guys who've never shied away from any fights in their careers, who know each other very well. And Saturday night is going to be absolutely electric and definitely a night to remember.
Well said. Lawrence, your final words?
Nothing crazy, just a point. You know, I'm coming to make an extremely big statement on the weekend. As much as I love and respect the other side, I just think a lot of this stuff has been built up around destiny and world titles and Bournemouth and stuff like that. But
of excitement as well.
Have you felt the power of the fans already
Yeah, I have. I've been living off it from when I boxed Isaac down here last year. They've been amazing. Any time I'm in Bournemouth and people see me about, and I'm feeling great energy from the whole town. They've been brilliant. The support's been huge, and at the end of the day, they're the reason that we're able to fill the stadium. They're the ones who, they go work hard. They pay their hard-earned money to come and watch me, and I go reward them on Saturday night.
Lawrence, welcome to Bournemouth. I think it's 9 weeks bell to bell since David Light. I should just say everybody continues to send their best wishes to David Light, who's recovering in New Zealand. Do you actually feel that you should be getting a little bit of thanks? It's rare in the modern era that we go 9 weeks with elite fighters, world champions boxing back to back like that. This show is happening because the Bournemouth fans, because of Chris Billam-Smith, but because you agreed to do it within such a small time frame.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to be here. And yeah, definitely right. I think all of this talk of world title fights and stuff like that wouldn't happen unless I said, I'm going to put my world title on the line. No one could put me in that position as a world champion. So it's obviously one that I wanted myself. And I'm looking forward to this weekend.
Did you believe it would happen, though? The reason I ask that is against Chris Billam-Smith, a former gym mate, under your former trainer in Shane McGuigan. There are a lot of narratives to this. Perhaps it didn't look like the obvious fight.
Yes, I know. I think the reason why it's obviously more likely is because, as you said, it's been a dream of his for years to box at the Vitality Stadium for a world title, and there was no other world champion that was ready and willing. So it wasn't like I was like the first call or anything like that, or he was even the first call. This opportunity arises itself, and when you're ready, you take them.
How confident are you? You gave us a great line yesterday that you said, been watching him in the build-up, but now I've seen him in the flesh. I believe that I knock him out.
Yeah, I'm extremely confident. I think I'm in great condition. I'm a great athlete, great boxer. From amateur to professional, I've shown time and time again that I'm ready to take the risk and do what needs to get done. I became an Olympian, very limited fights. I became a British, Commonwealth, European champion with very limited experience as a pro. Won a world title, defended it a few times. So I'm very confident in myself and what I've done and accomplished. And I'm going to demonstrate why I have done that stuff on Saturday.
And why was it yesterday? What was it that you saw that changed your...
I think the reality is when you come to outside of mind, me and Chris were in the same gym with Shane. And I think when you've been away for a while, you can either tear someone down or build them up in your mind. So I think for me, I built him up. This guy's a monster. He's going to be throwing punch after punch for round after round. Then I saw him and I just remembered, it's just a guy. They might have done the same or the opposite and said, Lawrence is weak here and this, that, and other. And one thing I've noticed in this whole build-up is that I'm very confident in myself, and a lot of stuff that I've heard coming from their camp is based on me being less than. But I can say here that I'm in amazing shape and I'm coming to do a job.